Buongiorno, buon popolo. Last Sunday at Pentecost, we marked the end of the Easter season with a new format of online worship, and we invite you to continue to join us on Facebook or YouTube on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock and on Zoom on Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock. You will find links on our website, Facebook communications group and the weekly email bulletin. And if you haven't already done so, please sign up for this so that you can keep in touch. There's a form on the homepage of our website. Now, the Church embarks on a period known as Ordinary Time. The great cycle of seasons that began with Advent Sunday through to Christmas and Epiphany, Candlemas and then Ash Wednesday and Lent, followed by Passiontide and Easter, culminating in the Ascension and Pentecost, represents the drama of the Christian story and takes up half the year. But in the coming weeks, the worship and readings settle into a quieter rhythm, punctuated by occasional feast days. There will be the Transfiguration in August and other celebrations such as Harvest in September, St. Francis in October, and then All Saints and All Souls and Remembrance in November. The word ordinary means things in order, in their proper place, as they usually are. It seems to me that life is anything but ordinary at the moment. Even as the lockdown eases, there is uncertainty and weariness all around us. At one level, life will continue to unfold as it does, but we are all conscious that every decision, every conversation, every act of human relationship is being shaped by the calculus of social distance, the fear of infection, and the consequences of so much of the economy and daily life being closed down. One of the positive consequences has been the outpouring of social action. People looking out for their neighbours, supporting food banks and other charities that are helping the vulnerable, making the efforts to reduce the risk of spreading the virus. The High Heaton and Manor Park COVID-19 support group continues to offer local help, and we're pleased to be associated with that organisation, in particular our offer of telephone support to all those who want it. As we enter this ongoing phase of partial restrictions, we are aware that things might potentially become more complicated. There's the possibility that some people will become more isolated as others return to work and become busy again. And perhaps all of us are feeling the pressure of not being able to look forward to going on holiday or seeing friends or family further away, and fearful about jobs and the future. To address this, the local mutual aid support group is relaunching its effort with a new leaflets to distribute in the community. So do look out for publicity because they'll want help delivering them around the local area. This kind of initiative illustrates how ordinary becomes extraordinary. There's been much about how things will be after the threat of the virus has passed, talk of a new normal. But instinctively we also know that whatever follows, people will remain the same as they ever were. But perhaps our consciousness will have changed. It's interesting to see that the local authority is exploring making some of the streets in the city centre permanently more friendly to pedestrians and cyclists. I wonder how many meetings in the future will be via Zoom rather than having to use resources and time to travel. How, perhaps in the future, we will think less readily of using aeroplanes. I anticipate in the future as well that some of the digital and paper resources which we've used here at church during this season of separation will continue after the threat of the virus has passed. In the meantime, we're still waiting for guidance about how to enable people to come to church from the beginning of July. And you will also recall that we are preparing to welcome Yvette Daniel, who is to join us as our new curate. the bishop has decided to delay the ordination of deacons until such time as public worship can begin again. So this means that Yvette will begin her ministry amongst us as a licensed lay minister. We therefore look forward to welcoming her into our virtual worship on Sunday the 4th of July, and in the meantime pray for her as she and her son Marco prepare to move to the house that has been arranged for them to live in Cochrane Park. The word ordination also derives from the word ordinary. We ordain clergy so as to put them in order, to make them part of something, hence the term taking holy orders. When a person is ordained, he or she is under orders from the ordinary, which is another term used to describe the bishop, the one who keeps us in order, like a shepherd. The point of all this is that what we call ordinary always contains the capacity for extraordinary. Normal is the place where special is to be found, and all that is required is the eye of faith to see it. Part of our calling as a Christian church, in our worship, in our life together, and in our service to the community, is to draw out of each other and see in each other all that is extraordinary, all that is special, all that is of God and which represents God to us, and that which is of God in us. In his beautiful poem, The Elixir, George Herbert wrote, "Teach me, my God and King, in all things thee to see, and what I do in anything to do it as for thee." He went on, "A man that looks on glass on it may stay his eye, or if he pleaseth through it pass, and then the heaven espy." For those moments when life seems less than fulfilling, he counsels, "A servant with this clause makes drudgery divine, who sweeps a room as for thy laws, makes that and the action fine." The reason it's called the elixir is that in Herbert's 17th century, when pharmacy and alchemy were almost the same, people sought a magic potion that would turn base materials into gold. We might wish in our own time not only that there was a medicine for the virus, but that there was a potion that could reverse any or all of the world's ills. Herbert concludes his poem by reminding us that it is our capacity to see God in the mundane which will restore us. This is the famous stone that turneth all to gold, for that which God doth touch and own cannot for less be told.